You know it's going to be a good day when you have a table full of knives. So we're out camping this weekend, and I decided just to bring all of my Lishen knives. I want to talk about Lishen Customs because he's not able to do as many as he used to. There are more drops now, like on DLT and Knife Ship Free. But I kind of wanted to just talk about each one and why I like his custom stuff, so that if you ever get a chance to get a custom Lishen, I think you should jump on it. I'm going to go through each one of these and kind of talk about them. And for the ones that have videos already, I'm just going to go ahead and link those down below so you can go check them out. All right, let's get started. All right, so we'll just do this by size. And of course, the smallest one I have, and I already have a video on this, is the Canuck. Now, I did some force patina on this, just did some patterning, which I thought was kind of cool. What a handy little knife. Great little belt knife. Can't go wrong with this size. The ergos are just fantastic. They fit in the hand really well. The blade shape is just phenomenal. Of course, it's classic Canadian belt knife style. This 52-100 really does well. I love how tough it is, how easy it is to sharpen, how well it holds. And of course, you can do cool patterning like this with some vinegar and mustard and stuff like that. But this one already has its own dedicated video. It was the very first one I ever got, and it's still a great blade. You can't really go wrong with this shape, this size. Just a classic belt knife. As you can see, this is one of his early sheaths that he has. Got this one in 21, and yeah, just a fantastic blade. He does make these on drops now, so the chance of getting one's pretty high if you are getting one from either DLT or Knife Ship Free. I think he switched a lot of these over to AEBL, which is a great steel, and we'll talk about that later. But this one's in 52-100, brown canvas, and yeah, fantastic knife. Now, this next one's near and dear to my heart because it's the Woodsman. This one's a bit modified. I asked him to do more of a wood lore style pattern, so more of a spear point. I think it just lends better to me, and I'll show you what I mean by that here in a little bit. But this one is in walnut, and you can see there's a middle mosaic there with brass. These Scandi edges are phenomenal. I actually, as you can tell, I've never sharpened this. That's still from what I got from him, and it's just been stropped. That's it. And this is just 52-100. His heat treat is phenomenal, guys. And I asked him to do a really nice sharp spine on this one. And this one doesn't have a video. I will probably do a video on it at some point. But the sharpened spine is absolutely, man, it just scrapes so good. He does a really good job on these customs whenever you ask for certain things. Again, originally this would have a straight spine and it would come out and it would be more of a belly. I asked him to modify it, and he did a really good job. Did exactly what I asked for, a flat Scandi with a sharpened spine, and man, he just knocked it out of the park. This one was from 22, so yeah, good stuff. This is the most recent one I've gotten from him, and it was a spot I had opened up. He had made a custom for himself, and I saw the pattern and I was like, I want one of those. But we did something different with this one. This one is in a steel he has never used until this knife. He started off 52-100. He added in things like AEBL, 3V, Magna Cut, and some other stuff. And he had never touched this steel, and I asked for it because it is my all-time favorite steel, and that is CPM Crewwear. So this one is sporting a Crewwear blade, his first ever, and it is thick, and I love it because this reminds me a lot of the Bravo line of thinking. If you're not familiar with the Bark River Bravo series, definitely look at those. Some of my absolute favorites. A lot of people don't like thick blades nowadays, which I totally understand. But the way he does his geometries, can you tell how thin that is? Yeah, this is convexed, and it is an absolute slicer. He did a fantastic job on this one. This is desert ironwood, black pins, and then black micarta up here with orange liners, as you can see, and an orange space between, and a black tube. So I haven't got to really use this one much. I cut like a few pieces of wood just to see how it cuts. Again, great 90-degree spine, because most everything that I use a knife for is going to be woods related. So I like to have that sharpened spine to be able to utilize it for scraping a fire steel or scraping tinder or whatever it is. So this one doesn't really have a name. It's just another great Lishen custom, and you can see now the sheaths are starting to get updated. This is again the most recent. Excellent job. So there's the guy that makes his leather for him, and of course there's his own stamp and when I got the knife. So yeah, let's take a look at the next one. This next one's a real workhorse. I have a video on this one. This is the Bush Dog. Got some leather stuff on there in the sheath. The video on this really shows just how much of a beast this knife is. The way he did this grind, similar to the other one, but it's even thinner, as you can see. It actually really does a good job, not just in the woods, but you know, camp cooking, that kind of thing. It slices super well. The ergonomics are just, I mean, they're fantastic. I've got a video on this, like I said, so I'll link that down below. But yeah, this is just another one that's great. And these are a regular model of his, so he doesn't do them quite like this anymore. But you know, depending on how you ask for customs, you can talk with him about that. But again, another 90-degree spine, because that's what I like. And this one is in 52-100, which again, I have never sharpened this. Still, I have yet to sharpen it, and it is very, very, very sharp. It's just dropping. That is one of the really cool things about 52-100, and in particular the way he heat treats it. So don't ever be scared to get a Lishen 52-100, and you know, unless you have an issue where you're going to be around water a lot or something like that. But if you're wondering how it holds up, don't hesitate. If you have an option to get one of his blades in 52-100, jump on it. It is great stuff. And this is one from 21. All right, now we're coming to some classics here. So this is one he doesn't offer as like a drop or standard even model. I think he may offer it as a model. I'm not really sure. This one is his Bowie design. Oh, you can see the wax I still have on there, keep it from rusting and stuff like that. Again, this is 52-100. I've never used this knife. It just looks so good. I can't really bring myself to use it. Eventually, I'm sure I will, and I'll make a video about it. But it's the small details about his craftsmanship that I really like. That sharpening tool right there, man, that really, really helps, especially when you have something like this angle that you want to keep consistent without having a bit of a recurve there. Little things like that he does in his designs, I really appreciate. This is just a really good looking knife, and hopefully one day I'll actually do something with it other than just look at it. But yeah, this is his Bowie, and it is also a great knife. All right, so this one is a Hall of Famer in my opinion. This is the Wanderer, and let me tell you, if you want a do-all that he offers, right here. Every now and then you'll find these on his drops, and if you're looking for a great woods knife that will do just about anything you want it to, don't hesitate on this, because they are just outstanding performers. They work very well. Again, I asked for a flat Scandi and sharpened spine, and he delivered very well. As you can see, this one's seen some use. Still have yet to sharpen it. Just like the others, I only strop, and that's all I've had to do. They've not taken any damage or anything to where I need to sharpen them. We've got a nice little lanyard on this one, so you can put your hand in as I fumble around. And then, I've got a nice grip. So if I want to come back, and this thing does chop, and chops really well. There's a nice sweet spot up in here in the belly area that chops super well, just like crafting chops or just delimbing, pulling the small limbs out, that kind of thing. Great performer again, sharpening tool, love that. I don't think I mentioned the other ones, but this one again is walnut with brass there, and yeah, just a killer blade. This one was in 21. This was back when he was doing, a lot of these are from the same era when he was doing a lot of customs. He wasn't doing drops as much. So I was able to get in on some of that early access stuff of really good customs before he became super popular. All right, now the big boy. So I don't know if I can get this whole thing in frame. I have a video on this one. Well, I'm gonna have to go way back. This is the Beaver. Obviously, you can tell what its job is, and that is to chop. It does that as well as batoning, feather sticking. It does all the things. Again, I have a video on this one, so I will link that down below. You can just see how much of a hoss it is, and really truly a one-tool option if you're into that kind of thing, which I tend to be, because sometimes I'm just going out for a short time and I don't need a whole lot. But here at camp, like at a campsite or something, they bring you, or they give you logs that are pretty solid still. Using something like this is a great way to baton that down and make it into a smaller piece. Still got my original lanyard on there. Green canvas, 52-100. Awesome stuff. This one was from, about that same era. So you can see what I mean about there was a time whenever the Lishen Customs were just rolling out. Unfortunately, like I say, he's having to dial back a little bit on that and aim more towards drops. But if you get in on a custom, man, you just kind of get to ask for just about anything you want, which leads me to the next knife. All right, so this last one is near and dear to my heart. This is something I designed. I cut out a piece of cardboard and made it the way I wanted it to, gave him the dimensions, took a picture of it, and he worked his magic and made from that a knife. And this thing is everything I want it to be. So let's take a look at it. So for my reference, this is called the Nordman. To him, it's just a custom, but this is something I came up with based on my needs and what I do out in the woods and camping and stuff like that. Now, he's already told me he's never going to make another one of these because of how difficult this was, especially here at the tip. That is it's a needle point tip. I mean, it is extremely fine. That was very difficult for him to manufacture. He nailed it, but he was like, I don't want to do another one of those. So unfortunately, if you wish to have this, I don't think that's going to be possible. There are some other manufacturers I've seen that have something kind of similar to this, just not shaped. Let me talk about this knife and why I designed it the way I did. So the idea behind this knife is a do-everything woods knife. So you have a straight edge, which is phenomenal for woodwork. So no matter whether I'm here or I'm all the way out here, I get the same cutting power and with no effort. Whereas if you have something like a belly that would go here, you tend to slide out of those cuts. Whereas this is gonna give me full power cuts all the way through to the tip. Some people don't need that, and that's fine. But for me, that's what I like. Because I'm able to get in there. If I'm doing a notch, I can just get in there with the very tip and I can just pop that out. This one is made out of AEBL steel, which his heat treat is so spot on for this stuff. And as you can see, I have had to sharpen it. I've sharpened it on some stones because it does dull relatively quickly. But the benefit of that is when you're in the field or something, you can literally just strop this thing up and it comes right back, unless you have some serious damage or you let it go too long like I did. then it takes an edge so well, and it is a razor sharp edge because AEBL steel was originally designed for razors. Makes sense. And especially with the way he does his grinds as I requested, this being a custom, I was able to ask for everything top to bottom, and he obliged and just nailed it. I mean, knocked it out of the park. 90-degree spine here, 90-degree spine here. This is the first time he's done this, I think, where he put his maker's mark there on the back, and it looks sick. He actually did something to this blade. I asked him to darken it, and I don't remember exactly what it is he did, but man, it looks so cool. And you can see how much I have used this thing. There are a lot of knives that I like to use, and some that are just really cool. But for me, this was built as a specific tool to do a specific job, and that is everything. I can even use it on a cutting board. As you can see, the way I designed it, it lays flat to where the edge touches here and the butt touches here. So if I want to use it on a cutting board, it will go flat. Yes, I cut food with a Scandi. I know some of you will freak out about that, but it is what it is. I don't have a problem with it. I just tilt it off to the side a little bit, and it's not a problem. Now, obviously, if you go to do things like apples, it's just going to bust them apart. But for most food prep that you're going to do around the camp, a Scandi will do it just fine. I could butcher game with this if I wanted to, especially with that tip, the way I can get in there, roll it up, and then I've got this back here that I can just unzip if I want to. Choking up is super easy. I mean, this fits me, obviously, because I designed it. The handle is so nice and comfortable. He does such a good job on his handles, and I really just appreciate his attention to detail on ergonomics and how things feel in the hand, because I can, get up here and I can work all day. I can put that pressure in my pinky and just move, and I don't have any pressure here or any hot spots or anything like that. Especially when I get up here, I can get to that tip and just do fine work all day and not have a problem. And even I can come back and do some chopping, and this thing chops really well. It's a chunky little boy. It's pretty hefty, and that's what I like. I like knives that are robust and built to do work, and that's what this thing is. Again, this is just another custom to him, but for me, this is my knife. I really enjoy it, and I love how good of a job he did on it. As you can see there, we've got desert ironwood handles, scales, and the black pins, black lanyard tube. Again, flat Scandi, 90-degree spine, 90-degree spine. And I think he did a phenomenal job. And here in a little bit, I'm gonna show you some more of this knife and it actually in use. But I just wanted to talk to you guys today about that, all of his customs that I have. And there is one more that I don't have in front of me, and that is the kitchen knife from him. Use it all the time. Obviously, it stays in the kitchen, and I don't need it with me. But yeah, let's go take a look at this knife in particular and how it performs and kind of my thoughts behind that. So this is the type of wood you get whenever you buy wood from the campgrounds and stuff. So big, thick piece. I'm gonna take this down. All right, some chopping power. thicker now. You can see how well that Scandi really just absolutely decimates the wood. And those are really nice, clean cuts. Just cleaves it apart. Now here's what I was talking about with this tip. This tip I can get in there and just, I mean, very light pressure, do detailed work. I can do the same power all the way through because it's just a flat edge. But the benefit is if I do want to come in and make small, minor adjustments, I can just come in here and, with no effort at all, clean up any kind of notch or anything like that. With ease. This is some rotted out pine. I don't know if it's gonna feather at all. Let's try. It doesn't want to stay on there very well. You can see the benefits of that full-length flat edge. So I can just walk this thing down and it stays a nice even cut. I could just get them to stay on. Let's see how fine we could get it if I just lightly drag my knife. Oh wow. I'm just lightly dragging it. You get that fine stuff like that. And see, and I can even, at the very edge, get those nice, fine, paper thin curls like that right there. Now here's the benefit of having a 90-degree spine. So this is just some of that wood I split up earlier. That will take a spark really, really, really easy. So using those little fluffs that I just made with the back of the spine, you can see the spine is really sharp. Even up here at the front, it's a little sharp. Of course, it throws back here, but let's see if we can't get this to ignite. Yep, just like that. It's my one and done. Well, thanks for joining me today as we looked at all of my different Lishen customs. And the reason I have these out here and looking through each one of them is I really just wanted to highlight Christian as a maker. His stuff is just very well done. He gets it, you know. He makes things that look nice but function extremely well. I mean, they just work. They remind me a similar vein of LT Wright. LT makes some great stuff. They look awesome and then they function just as good. Christian really has a good eye for blade design and handle ergonomics, and he really takes it very seriously on his stuff he puts out. Each one is sharpened by hand. I mean, the guy is just a legend. So if you get a chance to get a custom in particular, man, that's awesome. But if you have to get one on a drop, do it. All of the knives that I've had have been heat treated so very well. It's unreal. Like I've said, some of these I haven't even sharpened because I haven't needed to. I just strop them and they're right back to razor sharp. So don't be afraid to pick up anything in 52-100, AEBL, anything like that, because his stuff is made to work and it does a great job. So I'll leave all of his information down below as usual, and if you guys want to maybe see something other than the ones I've already done, like in this video, maybe the Woodsman, or I don't know, this other random custom. If you guys are wanting to see videos about those, just hit me up in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. All right, y'all have a blessed day, and we'll catch you in the next one.